Evening, everybody. It's my favorite night of the week, Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. This meeting of the Lincoln County Planning Commission will begin with a few remarks. This meeting is being streamed live, and when adjourned and posted, it will be available at any time at lincolncountysd.org. The order of events tonight will be as follows. For each public hearing, staff will introduce the agenda item and present a summary of the staff report. The applicant will then be asked to explain the proposal in further detail and to answer any questions from the Planning Commission. I will then open the floor to public comment, first in persons in support of the application, and then for persons in opposition of the application. When you step up to the podium, please state your name, address, and speak clearly into the microphone. Please limit your comments to less than 5 minutes. Lastly, decisions on rezone applications will be scheduled for additional public hearing during upcoming Board of Commissioners meeting. Decisions on conditional use permit applications may be appealed to the County Board of Commissioners by submitting a letter to the County Planning and Zoning Office within 5 business days. Thank you. All right, I'll do roll call for the Planning Commission. Please state your name for the record. Commissioner Green, we'll start with you.
Commissioner Green here.
Commissioner Boots, here.
Commissioner Jungling here.
Commissioner Smith here.
Commissioner Sweeter here.
All right, we have our quorum. All right, we will now approve the meeting minutes. Are there any corrections, Mr. Brown?
No corrections, Mr. Chair.
All right, with that, I'll ask for a motion to approve the meeting minutes.
Motion approved, Boots.
Second, Green.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? I will now take a roll call. Commissioner Sweeter?
Yes.
Commissioner Boots?
Yes.
Commissioner Green?
Yes.
Commissioner Schmidt?
Yes.
Commissioner Jungling is also a yes. All right, that passes. Planning Commission will now approve the meeting agenda. Are there any changes to the agenda, Mr. Brown?
No changes, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. I'll ask for a motion for the agenda.
Move for approval. Schmidt?
Second, Green.
Motion and second, any discussion? Here none, I'll do voice call. Commissioner Sweeter?
Yes.
Commissioner Boots?
Yes.
Commissioner Green?
Yes.
Commissioner Schmidt?
Yes.
Commissioner Jungling is also a yes. All right, so next, besides being here, we going to ask for a public input on non-agenda items, another favorite part of my night. Ask for any public support for non-agenda items. Seeing none, I'll close the floor. All right, let's move to our first item, conditional use permit.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Toby Brown, representing County Planning. This first item before you this evening is a conditional use permit. This conditional use permit is for what we call an oversized accessory building. I'll get a little bit more of the details of that. The applicant and property owner is Jerry and Mary Schilling. Subject property is approximately a little over 4,000 feet to the east of the city of Lenox. This is within the city's subdivision authority. Subject property, as you can see, is zoned A1 agricultural. Primarily, the adjacent properties are like zone. There is some rural residential zoning directly to the west. This was rezoned to provide an opportunity for additional residential or single-family dwellings in that area. Subject property is an acreage. It is developed with a single-family dwelling and an existing accessory building. The existing accessory building is 2,340 square feet. That was prior to our regulations on the size restrictions of the 1,500 square feet of the building. Picture would be looking directly to the north, would be the subject property. So the applicant did submit an application to our office to add an addition onto that existing accessory building that is 2,340 square feet. The applicant is proposing to add 1,170 square feet to the existing accessory building. As you can see, the proposal would meet all of the lot and yard regulations for the development, as well as there is existing accessory buildings on adjacent properties that do exceed the 1,500 square feet and have gone through the conditional use permit process. So there is existing ones in the neighborhood that have like size to that proposal. So staff doesn't feel that there's any impact to the character of that particular area. So we did have some discussions with the applicant. They're intending to use this for personal storage. They do have a motorhome that they're proposing to put within this. So again, we've noted to them, we'll note to you that there is no commercial activities allowed on this property unless there was an additional permit that was provided by the county for that property. So with those discussions that staff did have with the applicant, staff does feel that this proposal is consistent with the zoning regulations and consistent with the character of the neighborhood. Staff does recommend approval of this application with the 5 conditions that were listed in the staff report. As of note, we did post the property. The applicant did send notification within 500 feet of the property. As of this meeting, staff has received no comments or questions regarding this application. The applicant does have a representative here tonight to answer any questions that you might have regarding the application. Mr. Chair, with that, I'll turn it back to you unless there's any questions for staff at this time.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. Commissioners, any question for staff?
Okay, thank you.
Much. All right, I will ask the applicant come forward or representative and tell us about the project.
Yeah, my name is Casey Wallum, and I'm representing Custom Structures of South Dakota. We are just looking at making a small addition on the back of his building just for his motorhome. I don't know, do you have any other questions, or?
All right, commissioners, any questions for the applicant? All right,
I've been by there, don't see a problem.
Okay, perfect.
will it be open from the inside, so you have to go through the existing to get to the new?
He's just putting a walk door in, I think, so it's just gonna be attached but not open to the other building.
So you'll share the wall for
You share the
support and
wall, yep.
whatnot? Okay.
It's on the back side, isn't it?
Yes, yep.
All right, commissioners, everyone satisfied? Thank you, Casey.
All right, thank you.
All right, with that, I'll ask for any public comment for people in support of the application. Seeing none, I'll ask for anyone in opposition of the application. Seeing none, I'll close the floor to public comment, and I'll ask for a motion from the commission.
So moved with the 5 conditions listed in the staff report. Green.
Second, Boots.
All right, we have a motion, and a second. Any discussion, commissioners? No? I like sheds. I think we've made that pretty obvious. All right, I'll do a roll call. Commissioner Sweeter,
Yes.
Commissioner Boots,
Yes.
Commissioner Green,
Yes.
Commissioner Schmidt,
Yes.
Commissioner Jungling is also a yes. Good work. All right.
Protocol. I could see the look at your face when you said, all has to be done.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Brown, is there any old business?
No old business, Mr. Chair.
All right, move on to new business. Is there any updates for the commission?
Yes, Mr. Chair, just have a couple items for you. First is a couple appeals. So the planning, these are both from the Joint Planning Commission. The first one was use 0050-2024. That was for a stable that was up on Sycamore and 85th Street. That was appealed by a neighbor to the south. That public hearing will be held tomorrow night here at the courthouse. That'll be a joint elected officials meeting is what we call that. Use 0065-2024, that was the kennel that was approved last month denied last month by both planning commissions. That was appealed by the applicant, but that appeal was withdrawn by the applicant. So that one was ultimately became effective as a denial on that. The other thing I wanted to point out is that next month, a November meeting, per your direction, we're going to have the pipeline ordinances. Those will be a public hearing at your regularly business meeting. And so depending on the election or not, we're still scheduled that for a public hearing with those 4 ordinances that were referred back to you by the Board of Commissioners. And then 20, give me a second here.
November what?
Be the 3rd Monday, whatever date that is. Anybody got a calendar there?
18th.
18th, yep,
I'll still
18th.
be talking to the old people.
So that'll be So again, that'll be scheduled as a public hearing, and again, you have 3 actions. We'll post those on the agenda prior to the meeting again, so just ask that you guys take some time, take a look at those to get familiarized with them. The other thing is that we're gonna put the comprehensive plan, so we will have a draft, a full draft by then. I'll get that out to you as soon as I can. I hope to get it probably a week or 2 before that. But we're gonna schedule the public hearing. So in accordance with state statute, the planning commission gives a recommendation to the board of commissioners. And that's just a one-off public hearing type thing. So we'll schedule that for that November meeting as well. Essentially, we'll go over the draft. But hopefully, we've kept you up to date with kind of the changes, the proposals that are there. I did have the opportunity to go visit with the city council of T in Harrisburg this month, essentially. And no real additional comments from them, just went through the same kind of big picture stuff that I went through with you guys. They both all said, boy, I wish we had this in place right now. So I said, well, you can come to the meetings and help us pitch that part of it. But I think that they were really appreciative of the idea of collaboration and communication from the county that was really what this new comprehensive plan, the emphasis of it really is to kind of work with the municipalities to make sure that we're incorporating their vision in our policies and in our day-to-day actions, I guess, with that. So I think they were really appreciative of that. And I think it's really kind of the theme of that whole new comprehensive plan update. It's leadership. It's about the county saying that we're gonna take instead of waiting for the call, we're gonna make the call to make sure that we're coordinating with the applicants and things like that. And so I think they appreciated that, but, so the goal would be to have the public hearing at the November meeting. And again, we'll get the draft out to you so you can have time to review that and go through it. What I would say is that one thing that as we've worked with the consultant that staff kept reiterating, because I think it was an emphasis of you, the planning commission too, is that we really wanted a simple document. There's no 300-page document here. We're really trying to make this, what is it that we're telling people and what is it that we want to tell people? So it's not voluminous in any way. It's pretty clear cut about what it is, so. But with that, Mr. Chair, I'll turn it back to you. That's kind of what I had for updates at this point in time, unless there's any questions for staff.
I got a question, quick.
Yep.
The comprehensive plan, so that'll be a one-time public hearing, and then we'll vote and make a recommendation to the Board of Commissioners
Yes.
on the next November meeting. Okay.
Yep.
So is it a public hearing before the county commissioners as well, or is it just before the planning commission?
No, yours will be a public hearing recommendation, then it'll be one public hearing with the Board of Commissioners too, and they'll adopt by resolution.
Okay.
So it's not typically, so I think if I'm answering your question, because we're really familiar with ordinances where we do a first reading and a second reading, and it's, 10 days, 5 days in between and that. No, this is just a resolution, it's a policy, it's not an actual law, it's a guide.
It's just a resolution.
So so the goal is to have that at the December meeting, which at this time is scheduled for December 24th, will be the Board of Commissioners meeting. So no changes to that date have been announced at this time, so that would be the,
Check your calendar on that one too.
yeah. So hopefully by Christmas Eve, we'll have a new comprehensive plan for the county, so, yeah. But with that, if there's any other questions, I'll certainly answer them, so.
Sounds like a busy November. I feel a cold coming on.
What's that?
Sounds like a busy November. I feel a cold coming on.
Well, you're welcome to come to Sanford after you limping around the hallway, I suppose. Whatever they give you.
You can still vote, though, we'll have you call in, so. So,
Yeah, they told me I might not be politically correct, though, if we get.
we can mute you then, can't mute you here, so, yeah.
You can,
Good one.
Yeah,
you can phone in.
yeah. All right, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, Mr. Brown.
Thank you.
All right, Commissioners, if there's nothing else, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Against? Or adjourned.